Welcome everybody to the awkward there's nobody here yet part of the live stream. When someone gets on, let me know if you can see and hear me okay, and then we'll get started. We've got a lot to cover today, so we don't have a ton of time to do it, but we're going to start off as soon as some folks let me know that they can hear and see me. We're going to start off with a legit merch giveaway. So let me know when you're on and we'll get that started. So Facebook user says, what up? What up, Facebook user? Loud and clear, Chris. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Background looking legit. Who is this? Is that Keith? So let me know when you're on. Fuck's sake. Do. All right. Thank you. I had my brother come help me hang that painting up, and then it's still a work in progress, but we got some cool stuff. I'm going to do some cool stuff with it. At least I think it's cool. And that's all that matters. All right. We got a few folks on. Let's see. Jack says we're here. Nasmus says hello, boss. Seyoon, who does not take losses, says he can see and hear okay. Zakir says hey, says hi. Aka says hey. LaRue says, ooh, finally art in the wall. Yeah, I figured it was time. Jim says, if your name isn't appearing, you can go to streamyard.com/Facebook. Facebook user says, howdy. Monari, what's up, buddy? Says, this is good to see you, friend. Shazib says, hi, Chris. Hello. Hey, if you're watching this on Legit, on the blog post there, and you want to be able to play along, you can just go over to YouTube, and let me grab the YouTube link, and comment there. I just put it on Legit because, well, I don't necessarily love the idea of driving traffic away from it, but excuse me. But one sec here. God. Where is it? All right, I'm gonna get. If you're watching this on Legit, I'll post it. I guess it probably isn't going to do you much good, but I'll post it in the chat so you can show it on screen, so you can watch it there too. So hopefully that'll help. That's just if you want to play along. If you just want to watch, that's fine too. You can also just search Chris M. Walker on YouTube and you'll find it there. But it's up to you. Let's see. Facebook user says excited about this video. Good. SEO Alex says heart. Minimalistic online lead says hi, mentor. Hey. All right. I think we're going to give an early, streamers attempt. And let's go ahead and do our first giveaway. And then at the end of the presentation, we're going to do a $500 legit bucks giveaway. So you're definitely going to want to stick around for that. But what we're going to start with now, Shazib says, love your background and painting. Thank you. Mir says, good day, boss. How are you doing? I literally could not be better. Daniel says, peace. What's up, Daniel? Jason says, what's up, gang? SEO Alex is spamming. All right. So let's see. We got, please block Keith. Hater. Davin says, hello, everyone. All right. We got 44. Oh, I love that number. We got 44 people on. And I am going to go ahead and do a drawing for Master German Odor Removal LLC. There's your weekly plug, my friend. It says, any stinkers? I don't know what that means, but if you're odor removal, then you're the guy. Let's see. Facebook user says, hi. Kathy says, like the setup behind you. Thank you. Robert came over and helped me with it yesterday. I don't know if you knew that. Abdul says, hello, good vibes. All right, we got 52 folks on, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me bring up the random number generator, and we'll give away some legit merch. And then we will get into the presentation because we got a lot to cover, and it's going to take longer than usual, so be patient. And then what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to break it up into other videos, like separate sections. So, yeah. All right, so share and Sunny, because never met a dad joke I didn't want to tell. Looks like we got 52 people on, and it is, oh, come on, show the clock. All right, well, There it is. All right, so we'll start at 106, and then we will pick a random number between 1 and however many people are on at that time for some legit merch. Jeremiah says, Jemima says, hello from Nigeria. Facebook user says, nice to meet you, boss. See you again. Waiting to learn something new. Diganta says, looks cool. Thank you. Thank you. I work out. Oh, you meant the room. Oh, all right. Lynn. Hey, Lynn says, you got this. Thank you, Lynn. Shaq Diesel says, good morning. Thank you, Shaq. All right, we're going to start in just a second. We're going to pick a number between 1 and 48. So, and we'll go for 2 minutes. So, I don't want to generate it yet. All right, go. Start guessing between 1 and 48. And we'll go to 108. This is for some legit merch. And I'm going to bring up the first one and try to keep it on the screen so it's easier than scrolling back. I almost feel like I should disqualify Keith. Keith has won $500 2 weeks in a row. All right, we got about a minute and a half left. Lots of guesses coming in. And we're guessing numbers between 1 and 48. And this is for some legit merch, so I appreciate you guys doing this and, frankly, helping it show up in other people's feeds. And if you're watching on Legit, you can follow along. If you want to comment and play along with the games and stuff, you're going to have to jump over to YouTube, I guess, or Facebook. I find YouTube easier personally. Looking for a number between 1 and 48. Ooh, lots of guesses as usual. Whoever gets and just to make it clear, because there's always some people whining afterwards, it's the first person and only the first person to get it without going over. So if somebody gets 47 and somebody gets 49 and nobody gets 48, 47 would win. So just going to make that clear. It's like that show with Bob Barker, the one with the pretty models. The Price is Right. All right, we got about 15 seconds left. Anything at 108 or after will not be counted. So first person to get as close to the number we pick as possible, only the first person without going over, and nothing from 108 onwards. So stop guessing right now. All right, so let's generate our random number. 40. Ooh, Luis got 39. That's going to be tough to beat. You're going to have to be right on with a 40. Charlene is also a repeat winner. Scrolling through the winners. There's another 39, but we've already got a 39 before it. How many times can we guess? As many as you want. Master German Odor Removal LLC. So I have no way of really tracking that, even if you don't. Let's see. It does this thing where you'll be scrolling along fine, and then it just pushes you to the bottom, and it's really annoying. So then I have to scroll back up and try to remember where I was. MD asks how I am. I'm good, thank you. Charlene said 39, but we already had a 39. Davin got 41 and missed it by 1. Davin got a 40. So congratulations, Davin, on winning some legit merch. Just go to shop.legit.com. Let me bring it up. And send me what you want. And if it's something that requires a size, send me your size and your mailing address, and we'll get that out to you as soon as possible. Congratulations, Davin. All right. And of course, there's still people guessing. All right, guys, please stop guessing. Congratulations, Davin. All righty. Let's get into it. Davin was the first one I saw, Charlene. So if you can show me that you got it in before he did, I don't see how, but if you did, then just message me or message Legit and we'll hook you up too. But anyhow, let me go ahead and stop sharing briefly, and then we're going to get into it because we got a lot to cover. And, well, it's 2022 and attention spans are not what they could be. Let's be honest. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen again, and you're going to see a picture of me that's 7 years old. So, and you can judge for yourself how well I have or have not aged. All right, can everybody see my screen okay? Just let me know if you can see the screen. Just waiting for confirmation on that, and then we're just going to dive right on in. So, no. All right, Luis says yes. All right, so today's topic is looking crisp. Thank you. Again, this picture is 7 years old, though, so your mileage, take from that what you will. Other than that, I need to get new pictures. All right, so how to make money on Legiit. That's today's topic. It's something that we get asked to a point that our customers can't stand it anymore. I see your video thumbnail. Yeah, that's a PowerPoint presentation. So let's go ahead and get into it. Esther says yes, great. So disclaimer before we get into it. This is not a plug and play formula. What I mean by that is that I'm going to tell you exactly what I do and what others have done to become successful on Legiit. And if that's you at 7, you were born a grown man. No, 7 years ago. I'm not 14 now. But thank you for thinking that. Is what we have seen work over and over again. But it's not something you can just copy A to B. As much as people might try to copy me and just do what I do, you have to adapt it and you have to work at it. But this is the outline of what works. So take that for what you will. Next up, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about important things to understand about making money on Legiit or whatever. What to sell to make the most money. I'm going to have Max do something like this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, perfect. I really get tired of technology doing things for me that I didn't ask it to do. We're going to do things that people don't, or talk about things that people don't or rarely want, meaning certain types of services that won't get you good sales. And most of these are going to have examples with them. We're going to talk about this one. I know people are going to love this. I know we get asked about it a lot. We're going to talk about understanding the Legiit algorithm. Then we will talk about profile setup, how to make your profile stand out. We're going to talk about thumbnail design, sales page copy, SEO optimizing your service. I'm just going to power through these now because you get it. Interacting with customers. That may sound boring, but it's very, very key. Using Legiit's on-site tools, marketing outside of Legiit, and tying it all together. And then I'll take any questions you have and we'll give away some money. So sound good? Let me get some water and we're going to do this. All right. First of all, the important things to understand. We have to get in the right place before we can succeed. So let's take a look at that. One thing that it drives me absolutely nuts is people that don't take their business seriously and don't even treat it like a business. When you open your shop on Legiit, you are doing things that can affect people's lives, and you need to take it seriously and treat it with the respect that it has. Doesn't mean it has to be your main business. It can be your side hustle business, but treat it with respect and treat it like a business. You're not some kid throwing newspapers at a house or charging a nickel for lemonade so their parents can post on Facebook what a great entrepreneur they're going to be someday. This is a real business with real customers, with real issues that you can help. So take it seriously. The next thing is know your worth, no matter what level you're at. See, this is a term that a lot of people in the guru space or that teach freelancing and that sort of thing throw around to tell people to charge a lot. But what they leave out of that is that you have to earn being able to charge a certain amount too. So know your worth means knowing what level you're at. Some people can get away with charge for content, for example, charging $100 for 500 words. Other people can't. So you need to know where you're at. And there's nothing wrong with whatever level you're at, but know how much you're worth. Don't undersell yourself, but don't overcharge it if you can't, not only if you can't deliver the goods, but if you can't prove that you can deliver the goods. So keep in mind what level you're at and adjust your services and your expectations accordingly. The more you put in, the more you'll get out. And what I mean by that is that, and this is going to be covered in a later bullet on the same slide, but you have to work at it. It's a business. You have to put in the work, the time, the learning, the development, the things that you need to do in order to succeed. Just listing a service doesn't mean money is going to start falling on you. You have to put in the work. You have to find offers that people want. You have to find things that you can fulfill. You have to be able to do a good job, have good customer service and support, and keep learning and growing your skill set. So it's important that the more you put into it, the more you will get out. If you're not at the level that you want to be at, you need to work harder. I know that may be harsh, but it's true. Next up is don't focus on the algorithm, focus on the customer. And we're going to talk more in depth about that in the algorithm section. But people focus too much on how there's this arrogance that if people just saw their service, they'd get sales. That's absolutely not the case. You have to have an offer that people want and that is presented in a way that people want to buy it. So worry about that and worry less about getting traffic to it. The traffic will come if you if you set up your stuff properly. So those are some things I wanted to make sure that we established beforehand. And let's move on. What to sell. So there's a few points here, and you're going to find a few slides where I say examples. I don't really know what example I wanted to give here, but anyhow, we'll look at that in a second. There's no magic formula for this, but some things that you should consider are what can you do and do well at scale? Meaning you might be able to do logo design really well, but can you do 100 logos designs to make enough? If you need to sell 100 logo designs to make the kind of money you want, is that really feasible? Maybe it is, I don't know. But to me, it seems like something that would put a time limitation on it. So I'm not saying don't sell logo design, but consider how many you need to sell and how much you can take on and still meet the expectations that you set for your customers. So that's that one. How can you position it as different than others with similar or the exact same offer? So there are literally thousands of people selling, profile links, or I will design a flat minimalist logo for you, things like that. People need those services, but you have to find a way to make yourself stand out. Maybe you have a clever sales page or a thumbnail. Maybe you position it in a way that it's elite for your brand. I don't really know. I would have to give a specific example, but just listing the exact same service and so many people do this, the exact same service with the exact same thumbnail and the exact same description as hundreds of other people, that shit may work on Fiverr, and I just got demonetized. Lovely. That shit may work on Fiverr and other places. It doesn't work here. Our customers want to know that you can do a good job and why they should choose you out of all the options that they have. So you have to find a way to position your services that is not the same, that is better than other people. So are people willing to pay the amount that will make the service worth your time? I kind of covered that already, but basically there are certain things that people have an expectation that they will only pay X for certain things, whether it's content, whether it's SEO, whatever. And no matter how good you are, you're only going to be able to raise your prices so much. So figure out if you are willing to do that kind of work for the kind of money that you can potentially make from it. Another thing is don't just look at the site. And this is, again, where people just copy me and other people because they can't think for themselves. But look at the site and see don't just look at the site and see what is selling well, although that can give you a niche or a broad idea, but sell what you know how to do. If you don't know how to do something and you don't know how to get it fulfilled, don't sell it, even if you think it's going to drive sales, because just getting sales is not good. That's not good business. That's what sleazy marketers do. You want to offer a good product, well, a good service in this case, that will do a good job. And guys, I'll grab all the questions at the end. Keep letting them roll in, but I just don't want you to think I'm ignoring you, but I want to get through this and then we'll cover all the questions at the end. So sell something that you know how to do and you can get done and that will provide, and I hate this term, but will provide value to your clients. So that's that. tiers of service. Let me bring up my profile and show you what I mean by this. Fuck's sake. All right. So I have stuff, and I think you can see that goes as low as $6 because everybody's worth more than $5, and I don't have anything at $5. But I think I still have some $6 services. I think I only have one left, but I have stuff that's only $6, and then I have stuff that's hundreds of dollars, $500, $400, $300, and so on. So you may need to have a low and I guess barrier to entry. This is one of my best selling services. For years it was $6, and we only recently raised it to 12 because we have to do it a lot more manually now. But my point is, have a service that people can buy without too much financial risk to get them to trust you. After you do a few of those, I still have an $8 service here. After you do a few of those, then you can start moving them up. And I hate to use a Russell Brunson term, but up the value ladder to the more expensive services. So have a low, medium, and high tier offer. That way you can attract people at every part of the funnel. So if you don't know basic marketing terms, a funnel is the top of funnel is people that barely know you, and then the bottom is the people that are really willing to spend. And you want to have something for people at every step of that journey. Excuse me one sec. So anything from $6 up to however much you want to charge. So you can see this service is $500, but I've sold probably 40 of them. So that's kind of that. Let's get back to our presentation. Alrighty, so easy services. This is something that maybe you own, like Ahrefs or SEMrush or whatever, a tool like that. What you can do is just sell reports from it, and that's will help cover your cost of the tool. Again, it'll help get people liking you, and it's something that you can do quickly. So we have one service I have is a site bulb report. So we literally just stick the URL in the software, and for $10 we send them the report. So that covers our cost of the software, so we can use it internally basically for free. It gets me a few reviews, it helps the customer, it helps their customer, and so on. And then partnering with providers. Once you get to a certain level, you may have a customer base, but you have things that you just don't know how to do or don't want to do yourself. What you can do is partner with another freelancer with their permission and work out something where they do the work and then you just pay them for it and you white label it for your client. So I'm not talking about going to another site and just upselling something you find there. That shit, I don't want that shit on my site anymore. But there's nothing wrong with a couple people working together on things that one knows that the other doesn't. So that's kind of what the gist of what you sell. If you have questions about that, really somebody's still guessing numbers. If you have questions about that, go ahead and put them in now and I'll get to them at the end. So that's this is things that this is a blueprint for how you can figure out what you can sell. So take a screenshot of that if you want, or maybe I'll make this presentation available, but if you have questions, put them in now, but we're going to move on. One thing I want to talk about briefly is things that rarely sell, because I don't want you to waste your time and I don't want you to put up something that people aren't going to buy and then blame me for not getting you any traffic, because there's some stuff that no matter how good you are at it, no matter how good your sales page is, that it's just not going to sell. And then there's another approach where, well, we'll just get into it. So basically on the next slide, I'm going to show you a couple of profiles that are going to have to work 100 times harder as someone with better services to make the same amount of sales that people that offer the same thing do. So you'll see when I get there. Another thing is don't go too niche too soon. I see this a lot with content writers. They'll put up something like, I will write a 500-word post on mental health, psychic wellness, which I'm sure is very useful to a very, very small group of people, but you aren't going to get that many sales from it. So there's nothing wrong with having it there, but you need to have a broad one as well. So maybe if you do that kind of thing, offer a more general blog / content writing service too. If you go too niche, you're just not going to get a lot of sales. I gave an example here, And it's based on a real example from years ago. But I'll design an ebook cover for your fantasy novel. That's really, really specific. How many people write fantasy novels that need an ebook cover for them that don't have, you know what I mean? So that's really niche. That same person could instead try just write an ebook cover, maybe market it as a lead magnet or just leave it at that and give some examples of what they do. That's a much broader one and it's much more likely to sell. But as for profiles, there's two things I see a lot, and it comes from people coming from other sites. Now I've hidden their usernames because I don't want to pick on anybody, but profiles like this are almost never going to get many sales. And we have partly because there's so many of them. There's nothing that stands out about them. There's just nothing unique about what they offer here. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on Legiit that offer these same services with better thumbnails, with better sales pages, with better work ethic. So just throwing up these same services that you have on Fiverr is not going to work. You're going to have to put up quality stuff with quality sales pages, quality images, and things that people actually want. It happens particularly in SEO and in logo design. So I see this exact thumbnail, maybe not exact, but basically this exact layout and this exact title with this exact description probably 100 times. And there's nothing wrong with it, but there's no reason that anybody should buy from you when there's other people that have done similar things but made it look better. And matter of fact, let me give a couple of examples that are similar to the SEO one, but are much better. So this profile offers similar services to this one where I'm showing here. Let me bring it up. But see how his thumbnails are unique. This guy works really hard, and you can see it's paid off with many more sales, even though for the most part, it's a very similar thing. He's got better looking thumbnails. He's got better looking sales pages, and his profile is filled out better, and it's just better looking in general. So he could start adding more high-end stuff, or he can just stick with these. But if you're going to have the same services as everyone else, let me look at another example of a similar one. If you're going to have the same services that a lot of people do, you're going to have to work really, really hard to make sales when there's so many other people doing the same thing with the same thumbnail and the same design as you. This is another guy who does very well with some of those services. So he's got quite a few reviews on a variety of different services, and I always see him out there hustling, and you can see he's put in the time. So those are a couple of examples of stuff. I don't want to say don't sell it, but it's not going to sell that well if you have this exact same thing as everyone else. So find a way to make yourself unique and do a good job and do the work. So I don't want to stay on that too much, but I wanted to point that out. Next up is the one that probably got a lot of you here, other than the $500, is understanding the Legiit algorithm. So this is a question I get asked a lot, and it drives me absolutely nuts because I don't want people focusing on pleasing some computer program. I want people focusing on pleasing their customers and doing a good job. But this does help. Understanding this will help you understand how to build a better business on Legiit and how to get more sales on Legiit. So let's get into it. As I mentioned before, and I'm going to probably mention again before we're done, you should not be focused on this. You should focus on your service, your offer, your customer, and doing what's right for them. That's what's going to make you sales in the long run, not focusing on some dumb computer program. I shouldn't say dumb, but not focusing on some computer program that is going to reward you somehow with sales. So another way to put this is to think of the algorithm as a human being / customer and give them what they want. People want a service that will get them results from someone they think they can trust at a price they find reasonable and that presents themselves in a professional manner. So those are the things that you need to focus on to begin with. Write your sales page well, like a well-written, well-optimized piece of SEO sales copy. A lot of people just post a few bullet points and what they'll do, and they expect that to work. I want you to learn how to write some sales copy. We're going to talk about that. I want you to know how to SEO optimize it, and think of this almost like a blog post, but with an offer in it, or a sale, like a landing page with an offer in it. And that's going to help you with the algorithm. That's going to get you seen more. That's going to get you more sales from the people that do see you. So I want you to start focusing on writing well-optimized pieces of sales copy. And I'm going to show you in a minute a way you can get that done for you if you don't know how to do it. Communicate effectively and efficiently. What that means is if people have questions, whether it's pre or post sale, answer them quickly, intelligently, and respectfully. The more often you do that, the more the more your service is going to get seen. Therefore, the more traffic and sales you're going to get. So communicate well. I'm not going to be like other sites and make you have to stay online all the time, because you're human beings and you have lives outside of this, just like everybody else. But you do have to do a good job at communicating with our customers. And if you want to get more sales and you want to please our algorithm, you have to start doing that. The next one should go without saying, but you'd be surprised. Do good work. If you're constantly getting people opening tickets about you not communicating, or you getting disputes, or you doing a bad job or whatever, you're just not going to get sales. So do good work, consistently over deliver, do a great job, and that's going to trigger our algorithm and make you get seen even more. That's why the people that do well continue to do well. And that's why people who start screwing up don't continue to do well. This next one, Ishmael, what you do is you pay attention to what I'm saying. This is how you get work. What you do then, the next one is reply to reviews. I'm kind of bad about this. I probably have, I don't know, tens of thousands of unanswered reviews. One day I'm going to go through and just answer all of them. But reply to reviews. If you get a bad review, reply to it in a nice way that addresses their reason for giving you a bad review and reflects well on the people that read it. So just consider that. The next one I want to be very, very clear about. That's why I have it in initial caps rather than regular. Drive real external traffic to your profile and services. Now, first of all, let's talk about what real means. There are some geniuses that keep sending bot traffic to us, to Legiit, to their service, to their profile, thinking I don't really know what the hell they're thinking, but I think they're thinking that it'll push their ranking up, or it'll get them more sales, or maybe they don't understand that bot traffic is not real people, but that's not going to work. What I'm talking about is posting on LinkedIn, on YouTube, social media, having your blog, sending traffic to your Legiit profile, service, whatever, from external sources will help it get seen more in Legiit's algorithm. So you need to be out there doing the work and driving more traffic to it to help get more internal traffic from us too. So we're rewarding the people. The algorithm is rewarding the people that do the best job of making something that will please our customers and will get more customers to them and to us. So drive real external traffic. And we're going to talk about this a little more later, but to it. And again, no bots. That shit does not help. It does not work. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, and you're not going to get anything from it. So stop it. Sorry. And it's just, I don't want that. I want to be as crystal clear as possible about that. Next up is avoid in your service titles. I will, we will, I can, we can, yada, yada, yada. People already know that you can do it. You've listed a service that says that. So stop that. We actually made it to where you can't put I will at the beginning of your service, and people still over and over again try variations on it. They'll put a comma in front of I will, whatever, but they will not stop. So stop doing that. It makes us look cheap. It makes us look like Fiverr, and we won't permit it to be approved. So you're not going to get that approved regardless. So don't waste your time doing it. Sell things that people are looking for. I kind of made this point before, but you have to have things that people are interested in to get more clicks and then get more traffic for our algorithm. So again, I hate to pick on the fantasy book cover thing, but that's just not going to get, that's just not something most of our audience is looking for. So, don't do it. I mean, you can if you want, but don't expect it to get you any traffic. So that was kind of it for the algorithm. And if you have any questions about that, go ahead and drop them now, and I'll circle back to them at the end. We're not even halfway done, guys. So let's keep going. Next up is profile setup. This is important because you're running a business and you want to present it in a way that it's something that you are proud of. So, let's take a look. Let's take a look at some tips first. First of all, fill out everything. Your picture, your video, your socials, your description, the languages you speak, everything we give you, fill it all out. These are all called trust factors. The more of them you have, the more people are going to trust you and be more likely to buy from you. A couple people saying, hi, Chris. Hello, Facebook users. The next is a profile description that tells prospective customers how you can solve their problems. Mine is not great on this. I need to improve it. I just haven't had a chance. And then consistent theme and branding. So I found a cool, this is unrelated to our topic, but I found a cool browser extension that will let you take a screenshot of a whole page. I forget what it's called, but I'll post it later, but that's what I did there. But let's go ahead and take a look at mine. And I can kind of walk you through some things that are right and some things that I frankly need to improve. So the video, I'm actually getting a professional video made that will, can you see that? Yeah, I'm getting a professional video made, but for now it's me talking to the camera and telling people how I can help them. I've got a profile picture. It's okay because that shows that I'm working. The other option here is to look at the camera and smile. And then the third option, although I don't like it as much, but it's okay, is to have a branded logo. But I have a picture of me with my Legiit shirt on doing some work, well, pretending to do some work. And I put this ring around it because I find that makes it stand out a little bit more. You don't have to do that, though. Your portfolio, I need to work on this, but especially for people with visual services, put everything you have in there. If you have writing samples, you can put them in there. SEO results, you can put them in there, whatever. These are metrics. Fill in all your social profiles here. If you don't have one, just create one. The languages that you speak. Your description. Again, this is not well done. I need to redo mine, but you want to talk about what people can expect from you, what problems they have that you can solve. So that's kind of that. And then that's pretty much it. The only other thing I want to point out is that with a couple of exceptions, you can see visually my entire profile looks very similar. So that's kind of that. Those are the main points on that. It's not as complicated as it might seem. If you don't want to be in your video, I really do recommend that you do, but if you don't, then just get a slideshow video made. There's a couple people on here. If you need help with any of this stuff, guys, by the way, for your profile or your thumbnails, come up here to browse and buy us for us. And there are people here that can actually help you design your thumbnail, write your description, and so on. And the cool part about that is there's no platform fees for them. So these people, like this guy, LaRue, he will get the full 10% or the full $10 for that. So if you need help, come over to do that too. So that's kind of that. Let's jump back to the presentation. Facebook user, I'm coming on. We're about halfway through, but wherever you're watching this, you'll be able to watch it again. Next up is a thumbnail design. This one I briefly touched on, but let's talk about some quick bullet points on this. This is very, very, very important because this is what people will see and what they will click on. If you want to make the algorithm happy and you get seen in the algorithm, it's still not going to do any good if people don't click. So as much as I hate that that's a thing, it is a thing. So some things that are important, be in the picture. We have hard data that shows that if there's a person in the picture and it's the person doing the work or at least running the business, they're going to get more sales. So if you're camera shy, you're introverted, just sack up and get in the picture. Clickbait, unfortunately, does work, but you don't want to lie, but you want to get something that entices people to click, and you'll see in a minute what I mean. You want to make something that induces curiosity, but not too much curiosity. And what I mean by that is some people get a little too clever with The SEO link tornado. That's really cool, but I have no idea what that is. So it's curious, but if somebody else has the same service and it says powerful backlinks from my network or something like that, I'm more likely to click on that. So you got to find a balance between being something that makes people want to see more, but not too much that they don't want to look. And then you want to have a consistent look for all your thumbnails so people will visually recognize you when they see them. So let me get some water. I'm going to take a look at some of mine and show you some that are good and some that are not. You can see all but like a couple of mine have the same theme with the same colors, the gold and the black. With the arrow, that's kind of the clickbait that I'm talking about. See how it points to stalled out? So this gives you an idea of what it is, but it's not exactly, it's clickbaity, but it's not too clickbaity. It gives you an idea of what it is, but you need to know more. So there, and same thing, kind of thing here and here. This one is one I did myself, if you can't tell. I thought it'd be really clever, and we're going to talk about this service again later, but it doesn't, this service doesn't sell at all. Like, it's been up for like 3 years and has 8 reviews. So it just doesn't sell very well. And that's partly because of that. I'm kind of emotionally attached to it, but this is a good example of how important that is. You can see 17 reviews, 642, 432, 1,558, 672, 8. So you can, that's a great example, I think, of how important a thumbnail is. Now there's other things to consider too, but that's kind of that. So let's just review that real quick. Be in the picture, just get over it and get a picture of yourself. It's not that hard. Most of us have a camera. Clickbait, so stalled out and with an arrow pointing to it. Curiosity, so they're not exactly sure what it is, but don't be too clever so they don't click. And then a consistent look. So that's that. Next up is sales page copy. This is one that people really struggle with. So hit up the bias for section if you do. But sales page copy, don't just list what you do. That's not enticing at all. If your service is 25 high DA web 2.0 links, don't just list that that's what you do. People got that. They want to know how it benefits them. So you want to write, and that's kind of brings me to the next point, is write for the person reading it, not for yourself. Don't write things that, and we're going to talk about that with one of my services, that entertain you. Write things that are going to explain to a customer why they need your service, which brings us right into the next point. So think about the person that you're writing for, what will entice them to read, and how you can, what you offer here will solve their problem, which brings us to the next thing, which is a copywriting framework, which is pain, agitate, solve. So identify what piece of pain that the customer, and then the only reason anyone ever buys anything is to get away from pain or get pleasure. With services like these, for the most part, it's going to be they have the pain of needing to rank more or need a better logo or more content or whatever. But pain, that identify their pain, agitate it, saying, yeah, I know how bad that is, and now you can't get any sales because your site's not ranking, and then solve it with your service. And we're going to look at an example here in a second. Give example results if you have them. Don't make them up, but if you have a logo that you are okay to share, or if you've written content that has ranked, or if you have gotten customer SEO results, whatever, include those. Testimonials, if you have people that have, and we have a cool function where you can actually export a review that you got. So if you have good reviews, export them, put them on your page. We're not Fiverr. We actually let you put images in your page. After all of that is done, then you can explain in detail what they get. That way it's very, very clear what they're getting when they click buy or click add to cart or whatever. And then make sure you tell them, so now that you've done that, just click that add to cart button or that green add to cart button up there, and let's get started. Let's get going, something to that effect. So let's take a look at an example, one that I'm proud of and one that I am not proud of. Well, I am proud of, but it didn't work. So there's no reason for me to be proud. So let's see. Let's start with the bad one. This is, I thought, a brilliant piece of copywriting, and it has not worked. It's a great service too. So there's a video here that doesn't play right. I don't know why. But I actually have like a whole VSL on here about what the service is about. I thought this was so clever, and it just did not work. I think people thought it was a video game. And then I go into talking about, have you ever been in this situation? You've done this, this, and this. And then I equate it to playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and how you could actually knock them out with this one uppercut. And I equate that to my links and how you knock it out and then you win. And then I go into it, but I actually need to clean some of this up. But it didn't work. I thought this was a masterpiece of sales copy, and it just didn't work. What's the number you're sharing? Guys, that was for a giveaway that we did earlier. We're going to do another one at the end. All right. So that one's an example of what not to do, as much as it hurts my soul that didn't work. And then let me find one that I'm actually proud of that's done very, very well. This is the ranking rocket, and I'm going to walk you through a little bit of what I do here. The title, by the way, I forgot to cover titles. Titles are kind of the same as your thumbnail. It should give people an idea of what you're going to do, but also make them want to know more. So that's about it. And there's some importance there for SEO too, that we'll talk about in a little bit. But then you kind of want to have this should be something else. You should have an SEO friendly term here. Now, this is where we get into the pain, agitate, solve thing. I start with picture this. So that instantly gets people thinking about what, let me do this. No, that's fine. What you're going to do for them. You walk them through it. You sign a new client. You've written your content, optimized your site, built your foundation links, and you're stuck on page 2. That's something that most SEOs can relate to. So we talk about that. Well, there's a typo there. The apostrophe needs to be fixed. So get that cleaned up. Your client is calling you and complaining. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. They aren't seeing your results, wondering what they're, so on. Basically, this is where we're agitating the problem and basically making it even worse. They're like, yeah, I've been through that. I've had clients get mad at me, and, all that whole thing. And then you come up with, it's not your fault. It's not your fault works really well because nobody ever wants responsibility for something. And then you get into establishing yourself. Trust me, I know. I've been doing it and kind of so on. And then I talk about how having made a change and how I had this magnificent breakthrough where I figured out how to solve the problem that they were having. I was able to put together a system that consistently gets my clients to rank, even when they're stuck on page 2. I was left with a dilemma. Do I keep the system myself, or do I reveal it to other SEOs who are experiencing the same pain I was? And then the results blew me away. Yeah, I literally just said that I made a typo there. Or did I not make a typo? Yeah, like I said, I literally just said I made a typo there. So thanks for correcting the thing that I just said I did, for reaffirming that I need to fix it. And then we get into showing results. So this was when I was in my odd Christopher Michael phase. But this is results, 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 results. So then you bring it back. Then you kind of like do some scarcity, like make it for a limited time, although to be fair, I should probably change that because this has been up for years now. But I wasn't sure it was going to work. And then, I'm releasing the ranking rocket. So, and then we go into what they'll get and we break that down. And then all services. And then hurry though, that's some more scarcity. And I have changed the prices on this. So this is legitimate. And there. So the only other thing I should do differently is tell people to go ahead and click the buy button. But other than that, this one has converted very well. And then I have some other things in here. What are you talking about? And sorry, I'm looking at the questions. But then I have some FAQs. I put this here before we actually had FAQs built in. And then disclaimers and refunds. You don't have to put any of that stuff. But you give specific examples of what they're going to get. So this one converts really well and is probably something you should use as a template. So I'm going to drop that in the chat. The only other thing I would change is the typo that somebody pointed out for me after I pointed it out, and the call to action at the end. But this one converts very well, and it's one I'm quite happy with. So that's kind of that. Let's jump back over to the presentation. So again, real quick, don't just list what you do. That's not enticing. You want to write for your customer or your prospective customer and tell them why they need you, explain why they need this service, figure out what pain point they have, make it worse, and then solve it. Oops. Then give example results and testimonials, and then explain what they get in detail, and then give them a call to action on something they need to do. So that's that. If you have questions about that, drop them now, and I'll come back to them at the end. I'm gonna get some more water because I'm getting hoarse. And we're moving right along into SEO optimizing your service. I told you earlier that part of the algorithm was bringing in traffic from external sources. One way to do that is to SEO optimize your service page, just like you would a blog post. Go write something in Surfer and optimize it, and it'll help rank it in Google. It'll help rank it in Legiit, and it'll help get you some more sales. So there's not a lot to this. We won't spend a lot of time on it. But yeah, again, remember how I said that getting outside traffic was important to the algorithm? Here's some ways you can help. You get up to 3 tags. So those will index in Google. So set that up. The title is something SEO friendly. So if you're selling niche edits, work niche edit into the title and in the H1 at the beginning of your description. And then in the meta description and the meta title, and then the description itself. So let's do an example. Selling services, create new service. So a title, let's assume that you wanted to sell niche edits. So it would be niche edit. Niche edit links that move the needle. And then this doesn't really matter too much. Rank today and profit. And the category is whatever the category is. My light is in the way, so I can't see. Link insertions. All this other stuff you can find out through Legiit Help. But then here, the pricing, it doesn't matter for the purposes of this. Continue. Okay, so if you have a YouTube video, you can put it in there. Tags, niche edits, niche edit links, niche edit backlinks, something like that. And you only get 3, so be creative. And then same thing here. I would just put those same ones for the meta tags. This isn't that important, but it helps a tiny bit. You get the idea. Put those 3 again. Meta title, niche. Start it with the exact keyword. Edit links that will move the needle today. And then I'm not going to write a full description, but again, start it with the keyword, niche edit links to rank. And forgive me if I make some typos. I can't really see my screen because the light's in the way. Number 1 in Google today. Use niche edit links from a trusted pro. You can probably do better than this. This is on the fly. So, all right. And then at the beginning, you want to make an H1 niche edit links. Don't sacrifice the quality of your copy for this, but you can do it. Heading 1. And then just go in and write an optimized post. So that's kind of all you have to do for the SEO of it. But this will help a lot. I see these rank and they bring in traffic. So I think that's all I've got to say about that. If you have questions about that, go ahead and drop them in the chat now, and we'll get back to it. So, hi, Chris. Hello, Facebook user. So those are kind of the main things you can do there. Not every post is going to rank, or every service is going to rank, but the more that you do that, the more you'll build up that topical relevance for your profile, and the more it will help you internally on Legiit, but also drive Google traffic to it, which will help it on Legiit even more. So that is how you SEO optimize your services. Interacting with your customers. This one is something that's probably not as exciting as algorithms and marketing and all that other cool stuff, but it's probably more important. So we're going to briefly cover this. All right, acknowledge all messages within 24 hours. That's what we have the app for. You can just, if you get a message, even if you don't have time to respond thoroughly, just say, I've got your message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, something like that. Acknowledge, this one's much more important. Acknowledge new orders within 24 hours. This one, it took me years to accept that this was important, but it is. And it drives me absolutely nuts now when people don't do it. So you get a new order, all you have to do, and I have a cool one that I use, but I'm going to show you in a minute, but you don't have to get elaborate with it at all. Just say something like, I've received your order. Thank you. I'll get to you as soon as possible. Let me know if you have any questions. Something like that. Doesn't have to be complicated. Empathy. I included this here because people just aren't naturally good at this, but always try to understand the emotions of the person that you're interacting with. It'll help you with the sale. It'll help you get more sales from them. And in general, it's just a good way. It's a way to be a good human. So be empathetic. If something goes wrong or you're behind schedule for some reason, don't deliver the order earlier. Don't lie. Don't stall. Just be honest. Tell them what has gone wrong, what you're doing to fix it, and what they can expect from there, and apologize. Be empathetic that they may be frustrated with that. But if you're honest and you explain it, most of the time they'll be okay with it. So it's the best you can make of that particular situation. Deliver when the work is done, not before. If it means you're late, then it means you're late. You can file an extension. Some people will reject them. Some people won't see them. Some people will accept them. But do not deliver the work before it's done. That will get you in disputes. That will get you less traffic, and it'll piss people off. And then your delivery message. This is so key that I'm just going to show you mine. And actually, I'm about to rework mine because I'm on like version 4 or so of it. But let's see. Let me see. Let me just find it and screenshot it because I don't want to give away client stuff. Share completed. All right. Bear with me, folks. All right. Lightshot's such a great tool. So this is an example, and I'm about to change this, and I'm going to give you guys a sneak preview of what I'm going to tell you. But see, I have this scary message here. It's important that you read this before proceeding. Before we finish up, I have an important message for you about your order. And then it takes them over to this page. For a long time, we were doing a free audit of their website through audit with every order, but it didn't work that well. So we tested and it spent a year doing that, and it just didn't really get us much. People didn't seem to use it. So that's that. But then you talk about the deliver files tab. We thank them for their business. And then, of course, their delivery is attached. I hid that part. And also, I get them to join the Legiit Facebook group. Some of them I have the Superstar SEO Facebook group. Some of them I have them join my YouTube channel, things like that. So just other ways to interact with them. I'm willing to be pretty lenient on this sort of stuff up to a point, but let me show you the important message video. / important message. All right, so this needs to be updated too, but thank you for trusting us with your business. There's a video of me thanking them and telling them about some cool stuff they can get. And then there's a call to action. Then they can join Superstar SEO Academy. They can join the Facebook group, and then there's some scarcity there as well. So that's how I went about it. I'm about to change this up though and get something new. So what I'm going to actually do is have a picture of like a package here, like a gift, and it's going to link to whatever I decide to give them and say, click to unlock your special gift or unwrap your special gift. and then go into the rest of it. So that's what we're going to try next. I just haven't had time to implement it yet. But the delivery message is so important. So let me get a screenshot of what I say to customers when they place an order, because we changed that up recently and it's done well for us. Selling orders. Ooh. Got a new order since the last look. Yay. Let me see. That means that there's not there. 1 second, guys. Let me just find a good one. That's what she said. I just don't want to show any of my private client data. I want to be respectful. All right. So let me do this. Zoom out a little bit. Light shot, because God, I love that. Open. And bring that over here. Okay, so this is when somebody places an order, and within 24 hours, usually much sooner, just depends on my schedule and Georgie's schedule. But this is what we say. Thank you for your order. We received it, and we'll begin work shortly. If you have any questions, feel free to message us anytime. Otherwise, we'll let you know when your order is done. That line is to make people think if it's something that takes a week, and obviously this one does, but if it's something that takes a week, then it's I lost my train of thought. Then they're not wondering. Like they know that they'll hear from us when it's done. In the meantime, here's some free resources I put together for our customers that are yours to take advantage of 100% free. And then I send them over to my website, and let's take a look at that page. And this page is still a work in progress too. So many things I want to do. Basically, I get them to subscribe to our email list, follow me on my different social media, and I have some different guides that they can download. I only have one there right now. I need to add more. And then the latest articles from my blog, and then the Legiit app. So it's just a bunch of free stuff that makes them trust you and helps them to come back to you. So that's kind of the main points for communicating with your customers. Acknowledge your messages within 24 hours, acknowledge new orders within 24 hours, be empathetic, be honest if something goes wrong, if you're behind schedule, deliver when the work is done, but not before, and then have a delivery message that keeps people coming back to you. So if you have any questions about that, drop them in now. Otherwise, let's move on to use Legiit's tools. We give you an unprecedented number of ways to promote yourself more than any other platform. And we're not a marketplace, we're a platform. And that's why we do that. And I want you to take advantage of as many of these as you possibly can. So the first one is Legiit Social. I'll show an example of how to leverage that here in a second. That's the social feed. That's one of the phases of Legiit 3.0. You can become a premium seller. That is a paid service, but it offers you more ways to engage and market to your customers. Recurring services, that is currently a premium thing, but pretty soon everyone will be able to do that. Review editions. I'm going to review all of these with you in a minute, but review editions are where you can offer something at a steep discount in exchange for leaving a review. I'm out of water. Public discounts. We have a page that collects discounts and people can see them publicly. So people literally go right to that. Courses. If you know how to do literally anything, you can upload a course directly to Legiit and have it hosted on Legiit. This presentation you're watching right now is going to be there later, but this is a great way to do this. It's tools like Kajabi and ClickFunnels and Teachable are expensive, and we have all that built right into Legiit for you. And it's just the same, platform fees as always. Legiit Mondays and weekends. Legiit Monday is where on noon Eastern on Monday, we open up the Legiit Facebook group until noon the next day where you can promote your services. This is where a lot of people have found their first service. Legiit Weekly Roundup. We also make a post in that group that you can post on, and we'll put, I don't know, maybe 20 services that go in email to our entire list every Thursday and sometimes on the weekend. That drives a ton of sales for people. Guest post, if you are a writer, you want to write a guest post for the Legiit blog, you can, and you just send it to help@legiit.com. We'll post it on the Legiit blog. Sometimes we have to edit it a little bit to, to fit, and it'll be credited to you. It'll have links to your profile. It'll bring traffic into Legiit and to your services. And then creatives have a similar thing. If you make logos or designs or something like that, and you want to incorporate the Legiit logo into them, do that. Send them to help@legiit.com, and we'll post them on our socials unless they're, they have to be kind of good. But I mean, they don't have to be, we can't post bad stuff. That's just what I'm saying. So those are just a handful of ways that you can do them. So let's take a look at Legiit Social first. Now you get one post per day, and you really need to make it count. You can do a lot of different things. You can, look at that. I haven't had a chance to look at this. We made it clear we made the way that reviews show up look different. So yeah, that looks sexy. Great job, developers. But you can do a promotional post. You can do a value post. You can do pretty much anything. There's some restrictions, of course, but this is a great way to interact with your customers. Now, and this will go out to all of your followers. So that's another thing you can promote is a link to your profile so people can follow you. So anyway, let's make my first post for today, actually. So I am live right now teaching how to make money on Legiit. Mopney. Let me grab the blog post, actually. It's blog / how to make money on Legiit. I made a typo. There's going to be a lot more cool features that come to this. This is a fairly new feature, but this is going to go out to all your followers. I'm sacrificing my one post today to promote the very stream that you're watching right now, but I could promote my service. I could just give some valuable content. I could just, I could offer a discount only to my followers. There's so many things you can do here. So, and I forgot to put followers on that list actually, and I'll show that. So I'll show that in a second, but then we're going to go ahead and post. And in a second, it'll reload. There we go. So now people will go right to this post. And it's just a great way to get in front of it. Now, in order to do this, I mean, we're going to make some other things for you, but you need to get followers. So an easy way to do that is just ask people to follow you or give them an exclusive discount or something in exchange for following you. If you grab this link right here, it'll actually be a one-click follow. So it'll send them to that. And if they're not following you already, they will be. So that's that. Next up is premium seller. This page actually needs some updating, but here's some of the benefits to that. Analytics, volume discounts, recurring services, bundled services, sub-user accounts, canned replies. You can turn off affiliate if you have that. And there's some other things. I just can't remember what they are at the top of my head. But it's $27 a month. You can cancel anytime you want, but it's worth every nickel of it, in my opinion. Recurring services I talked about. Review editions. This is great for customers and freelancers because you can find some just mind-boggling deals here that can go as low as $0. So this is a great one. If you need some Google ads, check out SR here. He does a great job and he's got 50% off. But this is a great way to get your foot in the door, right? Like I'm probably going to grab this one because that's $5 for a logo. So I have nothing or social media, I mean. So I have nothing to lose. It's a great way to, if you're struggling to get started, this is something I'm not going to lie. This was inspired by Warrior Forum back in the day. They used to have this, and this is a great way to remove the risk for an untested seller. Remember how I said you have to prove your worth? This is a great way to get those first few reviews to do that. So to do that, all you have to do is come into services, edit. I don't know if I'll be able to now. Pricing, and then just review editions. and then you just put in how much and how much you want to sell it at. So that's just such a great tool. It's really helped a lot. Next up is public discounts. Let's do this. If you have services and you want to offer a coupon, let's see. What's one that's active? All right, so let's do coupon. Now I'll give an actual coupon here too. Watching the live stream. We'll give this to 3 people. Oops, not 344 people. And we'll give it to the end of tomorrow. And we're going to do 75% off. Cannot be combined with other discounts. That's up to you. And then you can, if you for some reason you don't want it to be sent to your followers, you click that. But otherwise, they're going to get an email that you did that. So since this is just for you guys watching, I'm going to do that. And then you just have to go to, you see how it says yes or no here? Let's turn this one to no. And then let's turn this one to yes. Okay, so what that's going to do then is going to come up here to browse, and you're going to go over to deals, and that'll list your discount right here with the coupon code and everything for it. So mine is in here somewhere. It's down. Let's see. It's probably under, let's do it this way. Business. Yeah, see. Now it lists it right there. So they can just one-click copy it and then go and get a discount on it. That's a great way to connect with your followers. It's a great way to offer a discount that people can see without you having to tell them about it. So that's just another tool you can use. Courses is a fairly new feature that we're scaling right now. There's only a handful on here. I'm going to put this on here as a free course. But courses are great because you just post something that you know how to do, and you make money on it forever. Like once it's posted, you never have to do the work again. So I know there's a lot of people that like to dunk on selling courses, but this is just such a great thing. You can upload videos, you can posts, resources. It's just a great way to make extra money and not have to do a lot more work. It scales a lot better. So all right, let's see. Legit Mondays and weekends. I'm just going to drop the post to that because it's a bit too complicated to explain. We're running kind of long now. I'll just drop the link to that. But basically, join the Legit Facebook group. Man, that video is old. It still has the old Facebook. And you can post Monday and Tuesdays. And see. Go to the Legit Weekly Roundup. So I'm going to post both of those. You can check those out on your own. Basically, you just join the Legit Facebook group and you'll figure it out quick enough. And we're running kind of long. So, and then guest post, if you want to get something written on the Legit blog. If you want to post something on the Legit blog, you can. You have to just write it and then send it to us, and we'll post it after we've checked it out and make sure it's okay and all that sort of thing. We have a ton of blogs. We're going to make this a little easier to search for you. And then the same thing if you do logos or anything creative. So let me jump back into the presentation because this is running kind of long. And if you have any questions on that, drop them now and we'll get to that. And we're going to do open questions at the end, but we're getting almost to the end now, guys. Marketing outside of Legit. This is something that each thing could be its own course. So I'm just going to briefly cover some ideas for you. Videos, if you have a YouTube channel or a Facebook following, make videos and explain how to do what it is that you do and say, but if you don't want to do it yourself, here's a link to my service and I'll do it for you. That has worked remarkably well for me. There's a video I did, I want to say in 2018 on how to rank an image in Google. And I still get sales from it today. Same blog is kind of the same thing. Maybe your strength isn't video, it's writing. So just do the same thing. I suggest doing both. Why not? social media, yours and others. So what I mean by that is post on your own social media, talking about what you do and how it can help people and solve problems for people. And then just give them a link where they can buy. That's basically marketing in a nutshell right there. And then others, you have to be respectful of other people's groups and things like that. But you can post in other people's groups if they ask, I need somebody that knows how to do AdWords and you're good at AdWords, post a service to your AdWords. Email is another one. If I see it getting abused, I'm going to have to rein this in, but you are allowed to ask your customers permission to collect their email. If you tell them that you're going to send them more offers in the future, it's okay if you decide to do that. And then you email them and send them. That works really, really well. Freddie's really good at that. Freddie Edmonds. Existing and new relationships, just, basic networking, right? The people that run businesses or need help or need you, those are built, do that. You can help them, or you can build new relationships for the same reason. And then sales, run your occasional sale. Everything's 50% off today, or it's Happy Father's Day. Here's 25% off for all the dads out there. Something like that. Just find a reason to make a sale. Don't do it too often because you cheapen yourself, but the occasional sale can really, maybe you want to buy a new car or something that can pay. One sale can pay for your new car. So consider times to run sales. I can do separate trainings on all of these if you want, but it's too much to cover each one. But basically, it circles back to the very beginning where I said that you're creating a business, and your job in a business is to grow and build that business. So yeah, that's kind of that. Almost to the end now. Additional considerations. In time, you're going to get to a point where you can't do it all yourself. I went way too long doing that myself. As recently as 2017, I was doing literally everything myself: the sales, the fulfillment, the marketing, the design, everything myself. Then I made my first hire, which was way too late. And now we have, probably 10, 15, 20 people that make the whole machine keep running. So as time goes on, you're going to have to build a team. I feel like that could be its own topic. So we'll just leave it at that. Partnerships, like I said earlier, if you find a freelancer who offers something you think you can sell, but you don't know how or don't want to do, coordinate with them and ask them if it's okay if you resell their service and you just brand it as your own. Again, don't do that offsite, and don't do that without permission, but it's a great way to leverage each other's skills. And think about how big you want this to get. I sell over $100,000 a month in services now. It has taken me years to get to that point, but if I wanted, this could be my entire business. It's obviously not, but let's look at my profile. Let me just show that I'm not full of shit. You see, I have $89,000 ready to withdraw. I have about $5,000 that's about to drop. I have $65,000 in orders in progress. I've sold 1.7 million in services, with 12,000 of that coming from affiliate, and I've withdrawn about 1.5 million of it. And that's just one platform. I've been doing this for 7 years, and I know what I'm talking about, but you don't have to get to this level. I remember a time when another $300 a month would have changed my life dramatically. So think about how big or how not big you want your business to get. And it is a business, but think about that and figure out what level you want to get to. And it can be something like this. I'd love it if people beat me. In fact, some people have beaten me. I don't necessarily love it because I can be a little competitive, but just have that in mind as something that you think about as you continue on this amazing journey. So in conclusion, you have an unprecedented opportunity right now to make a full-time living, or better, as I just showed, doing something that you like and are good at. This is a rare time in human history that's possible. Through our thousands or millions of years of existence, depending on your beliefs, that's not been the case. So don't let this moment in time pass you by. Figure out what you want to do, figure out a way to monetize it, and let us help you help other people get more stuff done. Take advantage of it and build the lifestyle that you want to build, and use the information and the tools and the resources we give you. So that is what I got for you today, guys. Let's go ahead and take any questions that you might have. And let me go ahead and jump back on camera as well. Jump back on camera. And is it this one? Yeah. Or is it this one? Yeah. I kind of want to swap those. There we go. All right. So we covered a lot today. Let me scroll up and see what questions I missed. And then if you have any other questions, go ahead and drop those now. And I will get to them as soon as I circle back. Shoo. See everybody thumbnail looking sharp. Looking good. Guillermo, what's up, Guillermo? Good to see you. How about services that are not offered on Legiit yet, but are a good match for the marketplace? Yeah, definitely. That's if you know something like that, this is definitely the time to offer it, because you know it's an opportunity. You know how to do it. Other people aren't doing it, so you can become the go-to person, the authority, the whatever for that particular service. So yeah, definitely. Those are great. If you have something in mind, I'd be happy to consult with you on it. But yeah, definitely go for things like that if you can think of something. Can't find a job. What do you do? I suggest you go rewatch this. Nice tips. Thank you. MD says, I'm right. Facebook user says, hi, Chris. Facebook user says, hello, Chris. Would you recommend sending a little bit of ads traffic to a profile or gig? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's going to do a few things. It's going to get you traffic from external, like we talked about. It might get you sales directly, but it's also going to get you into our retargeting pool that way. So yeah, $5 a day for maybe if you have like $100 service, I think that's a worthwhile investment. Very few people do that, and I wish they did. And I think that it really gives you an advantage. Facebook user says, I'm just coming in now. I hope I haven't missed much. I'm not sure what point you came in. So more so, I see people sending values. We did a contest. We're going to do another one here in just a second. I just joined. Welcome aboard. What's the numbers you're sharing? Do that. This is where I've made a typo, and SuperFunnel here helped me find that. So thank you for that. If you discuss SEM, then it's much better for SEM marketers. I don't know what your point was there. LaRue says, is it better to price 6 or 10 with 40% discount? Both are the same price, but I've seen the discount 10 is working well. What is your idea, sir? Test both. But yeah, I mean, I would do the 10 with a 40% discount, to be honest, because you might still get people that'll pay 10 without even knowing the discount exists. And then there are people that will be enticed by the fact that it is a discount, but you can also have $6 services too. Some people want the cheapest without the hassle. So test both. But if you're seeing the 10 with a 40% off works better, then do that. And that can be applied to any number, whether it's, if we were talking about 60 and 100, Great question. Ammo says, super. Thank you, Ammo. There's the ranking rocket if you want to check that out for sales copy. Now I add FAQ to all my services. We actually have that built in now. So let me show an example of that. I just don't have it on some of my services that have been there for a long time, but I know I have it on this one. So we actually have that built in as a thing that you can do. You see they'll be a little, I guess those are accordions or what those called. You see, we have that as a built-in thing too. We want to make this as frictionless as possible for you. So good idea to add those for sure. This is a very important point. Thank you. I'm not sure what that was in reference to, but I appreciate it. Hi, Chris. Hello, Facebook user. Facebook user says, hi, Chris and Walker. This episode today is very helpful. I remember my first year on Legiit after I learned all of it from your recent live streams. It makes your earnings 5x and 10x and more. Guys, I tell you, these tips and tricks telling right now are worth a lot. It's a summary of all the marketing strategies you will learn from gurus you need to pay a lot of dollars for, but you're able to get on Legiit with Chris. It's free. Thank you, man, for the super awesomeness. Whoever that is, thank you very much. That means a lot to me. Those early live streams really did help us a lot, and they helped you guys a lot. So I'm glad that they were beneficial, and I'm glad you're finding this one beneficial too. I don't know who this is, but my instinct is, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but my instinct is it's MK Stones, but I could be wrong. Guest posts are a legit service. I'm not sure what you're asking there, but if you mean, can you send us a guest post? Yes. If you mean, can you sell guest posts? Then that's a yes too. Jim says, thanks. I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Need order. Just go back and do all the things on here. This video has been this has been a mind-bogglingly in-depth video. Thank you, Jim. Jim, for those of you that don't know, is the co-founder and co-operator of Legiit. Here's the Legiit blog. What are Legiit Mondays? Here is what is the Legiit Weekly Roundup. Monari, what's up, buddy? Says, just learned how to make coupons. Been wondering how to do it. Many thanks. We'll definitely be using them now and then. Awesome. Facebook user just joined. Awesome. Ammo says heart eyes. Thank you. Is there any gig service analytics in Legiit? On premium sellers, there is, yes. Yeah, you have to be a premium seller. That's a premium feature because I feel like people that are going to take the most advantage of that are people that are willing to invest with us. Can you email seller links to promote? Do you mean can sellers promote their links via email? If they've gotten permission, they can. If that's not what you mean, clear it up for me. But if that's what you mean, then yes. How do you think we can leverage a website design service on Legiit? Well, let's take a look. We have tons of them. Ahmed Abraham has done fantastic. Jim does fantastic with it. Let's see, design. Web design has done well. But Ahmed Abraham has 229. We got my man Shah. I forget how to pronounce his name. So yeah, we have a lot of successful web designers, and it's a growing category. So if you're a good web designer, list a web design service. We have the full range of marketing services. We even have some more fun stuff too. So if you're a web designer, just list a good web design service. I would take inspiration as far as what works from some of these top guys, but also put your own spin on it. Elizabeth says, wow, you inspire us so much, Chris. Thanks for the tips. Thank you, Elizabeth. Always a pleasure. Single best, hottest area for right now. I would just list whatever you know, but clever stuff like, where's his name? Is it Edward Recommends? This is a good user who signed up not that long ago, or at least didn't start selling until recently. I can't type today. Yeah, he came out of nowhere like maybe a few months back, and he's done very well with this service. He found something that was popular in the niche that he's good in, and he listed it, and it's done pretty well. So that's a good example. You don't have a specific one to give you, but he's done a great job of finding unusual things and getting himself some sales. So I don't know your niche and find out what people are doing in it that is new and hot. So I don't have a good answer beyond that, unfortunately. Shaq Diesel says, how did you choose the name for your business Legiit? So this is a fun story. We started making the site, and we knew we were going forward with the project. We struggled with the name for quite a while, actually. I have it somewhere saved, but I actually bought a gig on Fiverr to come up with business names, and they were so bad. There was one that was like Crack Vista, and then that was like the best one. So that didn't work. That didn't work. So we just thought about it, and then one day, let me see if it still exists. But now I guess they went out of business. That sucks. That was a cool site. But one day Jim stumbled on this site called BrandZam. Appears to have gone out of business. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I guess they went out of business, but this is where you could buy like branded domain names, and Legiit.com was one of them. And I remember the conversation was something to the effect of, I like it and I don't, it's cool. And then we decided that it really conveys what we want to do, because it's legitimate services. It's not scammy stuff. It's things that are vetted. It's things that are from quality users, So that was kind of how he stumbled on it on the site BrandZam, which apparently has gone out of business. We bought it for $300. And yeah, that's kind of the story behind it. We got lucky with it. Who knows what we would have come up with otherwise. It's very brandable though. It fits our vision and it's great. I'm very proud and very happy of it. And fun fact, if you go in the Wayback Machine far enough, it used to be a coffee shop in, I want to say, Malaysia or some country like that. So yeah, so check that out in the Wayback Machine if you're curious. Can I PM you, Chris M. Walker? It depends on what about. You can send it. I may or may not get to it. I'll do my best. Minari says, actually, there is some link to some of your videos that talk about the training. I think Superstar SEO Free Academy, very helpful. Share to some new folks here. Thank you. These tricks changed my whole life. So I think all should follow it and you will be surprised. Thank you, Laura. That means a lot. You're a great one to have around. I thought Legit Clientele is mainly SEO and SEO related services. What percentage is other types of services? It's definitely not. That was where we started because I had a following in SEO, but content sells extremely well. Web design sells extremely well. Yeah, graphics sell well. Videos and other things are starting to scale a little bit too. Our clientele is more businesses and agencies and marketing. So those are kind of the things that you want to look out for. So if you're writing like children's books and things like that, you're welcome to list your services. They'll get a sale here and there, but they're not going to do as well as something that's targeted towards businesses, agencies, and marketing. So keep that in mind. I don't have those numbers for you, but we started with SEO, but we've grown much beyond that because we have, content does very well, graphics do very well, web design, and so on. Would it be an idea to highlight the review copies separately in people's profiles? I was thinking it may tip someone to buy who may not. That's a good idea, actually. I'm going to screenshot that. That's a great idea, actually. So, Keith's idea. Hopefully Jim is still watching and taking note of that too. May I promote Legit Service Link by social media ads and search engine ads? Yeah, absolutely. Master German Odor Removal LLC says, I've purchased 3 web design services. Awesome. Do offer website design services. I'm also a sucker for discounts. I also did a review web design service, which was nice. See, there you go. This is living proof that the stuff we just talked about works. What skills can you suggest a person can leverage to get $1,000 monthly sales? Any skill you have, but keep in mind that our audience is businesses, marketing agencies, internet marketers, affiliate marketers, SEOs, and things like that. So again, if it's like children's books you write, I don't know why that's my example today, but if that's it, it's okay to list those, but it's going to take a lot longer. But who knows what will happen in the future? But for now, I would focus on things that businesses need. So businesses or agencies need. All right, let's go ahead and do our last giveaway. And this is going to be for $500 in legit bucks. I'm bummed that Brand Am went out of business. I wonder if Jim knew that. Yeah, so let me do this because random number generator and the clock. All right, at 2:34, there are 39 people on, so we'll do numbers between 1 and 40. So guess a number between 1 and 40 starting now, and we will go for 2 minutes. And this is for $500 in legit bucks. So we'll go to 236, and then we're going to call it a day. So if you want to win $500 in legit bucks, this is your opportunity. Keith with the first guess at 4. Keith trying to run the table on us for the month of June. Jesus. For the month of June. Ooh, boy. Lots of numbers coming in hot. Got a minute and a half left. We're guessing numbers between 1 and 40. Great turnout once again today, folks. Thank you very much. I know this topic isn't as broad and therefore doesn't appeal to as many people, but I think it's going to be super helpful. I'm going to chop this up. I mean, wherever you're watching it now, you'll be able to watch it again. But I'm also going to chop it up into sections and make separate videos on it because, well, that's a cheap way to get more content. And then I'm going to upload it as a course to Legit Courses as well, and it'll be free there. So if you missed it all, I'm sorry, but it'll be wherever you're watching it, and you'll have numerous other options to watch it as well. So we got about 40 seconds left. Keep guessing between 1 and 40. And whoever, let me make sure I establish this correctly. The first person to get as close to the number that we choose without going over will win. So if the number ends up 30 and one person guesses 29 and one person guesses 31, the person that guessed 29 will win. If it comes up exactly 30, if two people guess 30, the first person and only the first person that guesses it will win. So don't come to me whining and sending screenshots and stuff afterwards that you won, because whoever I pick is the winner. We got one and done. Anything after 236 will not be considered. So let's generate our random number. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to have to, oh my God. I'm going to have to show this again. But seriously, Keith, for real? Literally, that was the first guess at 234, was 4. And you just watched me do a random number generated of 4. So I guess this was an easy one. You know what? I'm feeling generous. I'm going to do another random number, and Keith is going to get $500, but I'm going to do $500 for somebody else too. So the next number is 15. Charlene got 14. I swear, if Charlene wins, I'm going to assume that the two of you run Google. Lots of 14s. Oh, there, I saw 15. Where is it? Come on. There's a 15 in here somewhere. It's Facebook user. So whoever you are, send me a PM on Facebook and I will take care of you. And then Keith, I will take care of you once again. Unreal. So Facebook user and Keith, congratulations. You get $500 in legit bucks to spend. Legit bucks, by the way, are funds that you can spend on legit for whatever you want. You just can't withdraw them to cash. So congratulations to Keith and to Facebook user. Unreal. All right. Come on, guys. How do you get the numbers? We're already done, Tanya. This man, Keith says he'll split it. That's all right. I picked a separate user. So Keith and Facebook user send the, Tanya, we were just doing a giveaway by picking a random number. The numbers don't mean anything in particular. So congratulations to Keith. Congratulations to Facebook user, whoever that was. You can PM me and I will hook you up. So that's it. So what you can expect is wherever you're watching this now, you'll be able to watch it again in the future, whether that's Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I think it's even on Twitter. I will also split it into sections so it's easier to digest because we're going on almost 2 hours now. Guys, stop guessing. Come on. And then I will also upload it to Legit Courses. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. This is how you make money on Legit. This is a long presentation, but it's, I think, super valuable. And I think that there's things that even people that don't sell on Legit could benefit from here. So that's it. That's it for today. Thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next week with, I don't know yet what yet, but we'll be back. I appreciate you. I hope you like my new setup. It's still a work in progress, but thanks a lot, guys. Oh, on Friday, join me on the SEO video show. I'll have links for that in the various groups and things too. But I'm being interviewed there. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. So, all right, folks, have a great day. And most importantly, figure out what you want out of life and go ahead and get it because you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world. Have a great one. Peace.